Welcome. We're going to talk about today how to locate and how to utilize your feedback from your instructors in your online Canvas classes. One of the most important things about learning is that we don't ever get better if we don't learn what we may have not done 100% correctly, and how to change that. So even though receiving grades on papers or documents of any kind is not ever fun, and none of us want to be told what we've done wrong, if we don't utilize the feedback that we get from our instructors, we're never going to make improvements. So one of the most important parts of college life is to not just look at the grade and go, oh, I got a whatever the grade might be, but to really dig into what that grade is made up of. If your instructor supplies a rubric, of course, it's important to review the rubric scores themselves and any feedback that your instructor has left. Now, your instructor may leave feedback in a variety of different ways. The example that we're going to look at today is something that I do personally a lot because it speeds up my grading. And as an English teacher, my whole life is grading. So one of the things that I like to do is provide audio feedback and have reminder to the student to open the document and follow along with what I'm saying. You may have instructors who even give you video feedback. You may have instructors who give you written comments just in a box, the comment box. You may also have instructors who mark up documents. You may have an instructor who saves your paper on their own computer and then uses Word to do the track changes function and then hands it back to you with marks on it. You may have instructors, I've actually done this before, who grade physically, just like in the olden days when you turned in a paper, they'll print out the paper, mark it up physically, manually, and then scan it and send it back to you, even in an online class. So it's a little different from when you're in a seated class where the instructor can just hand you the paper back or hand you the test back. That feedback has to be done through Canvas somehow because we don't see you in person. So I'm going to show you today, using our class as an example, how to locate the feedback that you get from me, and then you're going to be utilizing that feedback to make improvements on the major assignments. Remember that the revision part of our class means that you can get up to 10 to 20 extra points depending on what size of an assignment it is, by utilizing that feedback and making improvements. So I'm going to show you the course, and I already have the student view turned on. So this has got me logged in as a sample student. So this should look very much like yours does when you get a grade back. And you'll notice that over here on the grades, it has a button to show, hey, you've got a new grade that's come in. So let's click on the grade book, and yours will look very much like this. You'll have scores. You'll also have additional symbols. So you notice I've only done the one that we're working on right now for this particular purpose. So we've got a score, 39 out of 50, and we have a it looks like a little checklist, which would be, I believe that's the rubric. And then the comments are the ones, yeah, the ones that look like a comment. Now, I will be honest, the fastest way to look at your feedback is not to click individually on these, although you certainly can. I would suggest going straight back to the assignment itself, the link, and click on that link. What that's going to do is allow you to look at everything all at once. This is going to be your document. You'll have access to your document. So if you've got, like I have here, the audio feedback, it mentions right there in the comments to review the audio feedback with a copy of your document open. And then this is the media comment, which I'll look at in a second. But I want to go up here and do the show rubric first. I will also point out that there is a resubmit assignment. So when you are resubmitting for the ones that you're allowed to revise, you will just click here and then you will turn in the new document. So this is your one-stop shop for seeing the feedback, and then also once you've utilized the feedback, turning the assignment back in. So if I click on show rubric, it will give me all of the categories and it will tell me where I scored in each of the categories. Now, honestly, if you are scoring in the exemplary range, then clearly that is something that you are good at and you probably don't need to think about it too much. If you are scoring in the competent range, that's still, it's showing that you know what you're doing and that you've done everything you need to do. Where you really need to start paying attention, though, is if you are losing points under competent or needs improvement. Those are areas that you can specifically target to improve. So if this document, for example, didn't have headings and table of contents as it was supposed to, it's part of the rubric, then that's something, of course, that I'm really going to need to work on for my revision. And the rubric will show that. Professional language and proper grammar. Oh, I mean, I scored a decent score, but of course, when I revise it, I'm going to need to fix that. I want to carefully proofread. I want to make changes and that sort of stuff. So use the rubric to help you understand how you did on the particular assignment. And then, like I said, you may have written comments here, or you may have, in my case, it'll typically be audio. Now, this is an important point too, before I play the audio to show you, kind of what that will look like. Notice here it says that you can add a comment, but I will tell you, unless you are putting a new document on there, if you put a comment in here, I am probably never going to see it. So make sure that you are, I don't know why. Oh, because I went like this. Zoom is getting too smart for me. Anyway, don't add a comment here. If you have a question about a grade or something isn't clear, use the inbox. That's the only way that it alerts me that you have a question, because if you just type something in here and hit enter, I'm not going to see it unless it's time to resubmit it, and then I will. So that's fine as well. Anyway, how do you access the feedback? In our case, because it's an audio comment.
Hello, it's Miss Pierce. We're going to take a look at your
That's how it works. I hate the sound of my voice, so I'm not going to play the rest of it, but that is how it works. You would want to open your document before you start playing it so that you can follow along with me. Okay, I just did a really quick sample. There's not any real content there anyway, but that's what it looks like. And then you have seen and heard where you need to make changes. You'll make those changes. And then in many cases, in our major assignment cases, you will resubmit the assignment by clicking on resubmit and saving it. I would save it when I was revising it, I would save it as a new title for the file, or like instead of just hitting save, hit save as and call it something different. So for this one, for example, the original file was sample ENC2210 letter memo. I would probably put revised in the front of it. That way it's clear that this is a new file and that there are changes that have been made. All right, so that is how you access your feedback.